Good morning, everyone. Welcome to hashtag 10-Day Tackle Day 8. This is Mel Robertson, founder of Decluttering Spaces, where I help clients get free from clutter once and for all so they can get clear about their desires and experience happiness and abundance in every area of their life. And this 10-day video series that I'm documenting is just to share with you how I get to live the life of my dreams with creating the business that I created. And for me, that is living a life of freedom, being the boss of my own schedule, being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, not answering to a boss and making someone else rich. The reason why I get to do that today is because I'm willing to bring my presence to my life on a daily basis. And it wasn't always like that. A year before I created Decluttering Spaces, I had gotten to a point that I was completely miserable, tapped out. My wife struggled with insomnia, so when she didn't sleep, I didn't sleep. I was the manager of a furniture delivery and installation company with a bunch of guys under me who didn't like having a woman for a boss in the first place. And I was always angry, and the boss over me was not so nice, we'll just put it that way. And I was just really miserable working there. I was tapped out, I was depleted, and I wasn't taking care of myself at all. I didn't make any time for myself. I was a bank account that was always making withdrawals and never making any additions. And I reached a breaking point where I actually wanted to leave this planet again. And that was pretty scary, being an adult and wanting to leave this planet and feeling that way that I did when I was a kid, when I lost my brother. And so I got to a turning point where I had to decide whether or not I was actually going to end my own life, or I was going to be willing to do whatever it takes to put my happiness first and make that my number one priority, because I knew from everything that I've read and have studied over the years that happiness is our birthright. I just hadn't done what I needed to do to access that, and so I had to make the decision, die and take my life, or am I going to do what it takes to get happy? And I made the decision to do whatever it takes and put my happiness first, and that was really challenging and really hard. But there were two things that happened when I did that. One, I made the commitment that I was going to make time for myself every day, and that just started with 5 minutes. So before I got to work, I would sit in my car and I would just breathe and I would meditate and I would connect with spirit, and it would just start with 5 minutes. And the other thing that I did is what I call becoming a happiness-seeking missile, because it's our default nature to always find the negative in something first, or something we don't like. And so I made it a challenge to myself that everywhere I went, in every space that I was, in every situation, that I would force myself to find something that brought me joy and something that felt good, so that I could change my default from finding the negative all the time to finding the positive. And if I could do those two things, that my vibration would gradually increase and I would feel happier and more abundant, and things would start to change. Within 3 months of just committing to that practice and doing those two things, huge changes started to happen. My wife and I figured out what we could do to help alleviate her anxiety, and we were able to buy a house in Poway and move her mom in with us, which alleviated a lot of her stress. And then within 3 months of moving into our new house, I quit that job I was miserable at, took the leap of faith, and became a personal assistant for a couple of women who, within 2 weeks of hiring me, decided that they weren't going to need my services at that time. It was a bad timing for them, and my wife was smart enough to make sure I got a contract, and so they said they would send me a check in the mail for the balance of my contract. That check happened to be worth $50,000, and I then took the next 6 months off to get clear about what the hell I was going to do with my life. And it was during that time that I was led by spirit to take my ability to create order out of chaos and my love of energy healing to create Decluttering Spaces, where I've been helping my clients get free from clutter once and for all, and experience happiness and abundance in every area of their life since 2014. Now, what I want to share with you today, though, is that when I started back then, I think it was 2012, when I started actually making time for myself, 5 minutes a day. That 5 minutes is now 2 hours a day. And what that looks like for me is I enjoy getting up really early in the morning. So I'm up, my body wakes up naturally, usually between 4 and 4:30. I like to have some time with tea and reading, spiritual stuff and connecting with spirit, having time to meditate, and then trying to make sure I make time about 3 times or 4 times a week to have some time to stretch and just come home in my body physically and have some time to do that. But my morning routine for myself that I need to do to take care of myself is 2 hours. So that's a huge shift from 5 minutes to 2 hours. But it also took, it's 2019, so that's 7 years now. So be gentle with yourself, but just make the commitment that you're going to show up and be present for your life. And when you are willing to do that, then you can live the life of your dreams. You can't get clear about what you want to do with your life if you're not showing up for your life. You have to be willing to be present for it. That's the key to everything, is being willing to bring your presence to your life. So thank you for watching day 8, and I will see you tomorrow.